And good morning at 7:04 on this Wednesday, June 12th. It's time to head to Studio B for Colwman and Company.
Hello, everybody, and welcome. Yes, a wonderful Wednesday. The sun is shining. It's going to get even warmer today. And for the weekend, we welcome you to our program. And today is Cumberland Day. And today, for maybe the first time, we do not have Rusty with us this morning. Rusty Richardson has a guest substitute this morning, and that is none other than Dr. Paul Stubb. Good morning.
Good morning, Colwman.
Oh, it's nice to have you with us today, and you are the 26th president of Cumberland University, filling in for Rusty.
Filling in for Rusty. It's a hard job. Big shoes.
Well, he is on special assignment, like all of us do every once in a while.
Even you.
Even me. And you have a guest that you brought with you this morning we'll get to shortly. But a few things we want to talk about. First of all, how are you? I hope things are going well for the summer.
They are indeed. I'm exceptionally well. I may not look it, but I'm exceptionally. I'm feeling good. MJ even told me I was looking good this morning. My wife, I think, uttered something like that when I left the house this morning too. She's always kind, but
let's talk about do a recap of the Phoenix Ball.
Phoenix Ball was another exceptional year. You know, really, ever since Katie and Michael Moscardelli took over the Phoenix Ball. Now, I guess that was 10 years ago. It has been on an amazing trajectory. And this year we had Greg and Heather Landers, who were chairs, and they just continued that trajectory. It was an exceptional night. The weather was perfect, just like it was last weekend for Symphony on the Lawn. We had just a capacity crowd. It was completely full. We raised a lot of money. I don't have a final tally yet, but I'm sure it'll be six-figure, north of $100,000 net proceeds that all go to scholarships at Cumberland University.
And as far as Symphony on the Lawn, the weather turned out nice for it, although there was a chance earlier in the day of a shower passing through. But,
you know, I tell people that every day at Cumberland University is a Chamber of Commerce day. It could not have been a more perfect weather evening for Symphony on the Lawn. MJ was our MC that night. She did her usual magnificent job. The symphony was terrific. They estimated, the lady that was there from the symphony told me she thought that was the largest crowd that she had seen, and she thought it was north of 3,000 people.
Wow.
The lawn was full, as you might imagine, a lot of people with blankets and chairs and libations and food, cheese and crackers. And I mean, we had food trucks out there and ice cream and kids running around doing chalk art on the sidewalks, and it was a wonderful evening.
And you've got some things going right now that we need to talk about before we get to our guests this morning. There's always some summer camps at Cumberland.
We are replete with summer camps this year. I got to tell you, Stephanie Davis, who's also on special assignment with Rusty Richardson this week, they are actually attending a Title IX conference down I think it's in Atlanta. Do you know where they are, Jim?
Not sure.
Yeah.
I think it's
But Stephanie is in charge of all our summer camps, and she has just packed us full this summer. This week, we have several athletic camps going on. There's a baseball camp, I know, a soccer camp. There's the Center Kids Camp, which is a Christian children's camp. We have the Franklin Band Camp coming. We have all kind of band camps, athletic camps, church camps, fine arts camps. The campus is really alive. It is just full, and it's great. It's fun.
But maybe a few more parking spaces.
A few more parking spaces.
More empty ones.
Yeah, a lot of those kids are not driving yet, so their parents bring them and drop them off. In fact, the center kids come and stay in our dorms all week, and so they dropped them off on Sunday, and they're spending the night and eating in our dining hall and running all over campus. And that's really keeping the campus alive. But, you can park on campus this week.
What about summer projects? Any other thing in particular you want to mention in the way of a project this summer?
You know, the biggest thing that we're doing, Colwman, is preparing for another fall of record enrollment. We are already surpassing our targets and our enrollment for this fall, even despite the FAFSA delays, which have been a real setback for us. You may or may not be familiar with that, but the federal government candidly just really screwed up what's called the FAFSA stands for. What does it stand for? Federal Assistance Family Support. I don't know. It has to do with how much financial aid students are eligible to receive. I should know that acronym, but It's been a debacle, and it's been delayed and delayed and delayed, and so a lot of students just haven't made application to college. We're hearing from a lot of our peer institutions that they're way down in enrollment, but we look like we're going to have another record year this fall, and so we're preparing for that. We're trying to figure out where we're going to park them all. Our residence halls are completely full now. We have a waiting list for our residence halls, and we're putting students everywhere we can. We bought a number of little homes around campus, and we're jamming them in there. And but it's fun challenges.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay, it is time to introduce Jim Schulman, whose name you've already mentioned.
Professor Jim Schulman is a relative newcomer to Cumberland, and I am just so delighted that he agreed to come and become part of the Cumberland team. He is a lawyer by training, and I'll let him tell you about his background, but he is our new dean of the Labrie School of Science, Technology, and Business. And we hired him actually about a year ago in a different role and recognized quickly his amazing talent. And when Dr. Chris Fuller, who was in that role as dean, decided he wanted to go back on the faculty, and he's actually taken a new role with us as a part-time data scientist. He's a real, Chris Fuller's an amazing technology guy, but he's a math professor by training. And so he wanted to go back and teach math and be a data scientist, and we gave him that opportunity. We needed a new dean, and Jim Schulman rose to the occasion, and we're delighted that he's now in that role.
All right, we're glad to have you. Welcome to Colwman & Company.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Tell us about your background. What have you done all your life before now?
Well, as President Stump said, I'm a lawyer by trade, and I practiced for a while, but most of it was in government. I went to work for Ned McWhorter when he was governor. Was the legal counsel for the Department of Finance. When Governor McWhorter's term was over, I went to work for Speaker of the House Jimmy Nafee. So I spent 6 years as the Speaker's chief of staff. And then I did a number of different things, including working at TennCare. I worked at the Department of Health. And then I ended up for 10 years as the executive director of the Tennessee Commission on Aging and Disability. I also served as Nashville's vice mayor. I was on the city council for a number of years and then served as vice mayor for 5 years.
Well, you have done a lot. Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Johnson City and then came this way to go to school and then just stayed here.
Where did you go to school?
Went to Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Went to Vanderbilt. I missed Cumberland on the way in, but I knew it was over there. And I would pass it when I was going back to Johnson City. But I knew it was there. When I was trying to figure out after all those years of state government service what to do, I knew some folks at Cumberland, talked to them, and they convinced me to come over and start a new political science major and minor at Cumberland, and that's what I've been doing.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed, and you obviously have enjoyed your time at Cumberland.
Well, I've been there a year. I don't know all the acronyms yet, and so I'm working on that, and I know where most of the buildings are, but I really thoroughly enjoyed the first year. So the first year was basically teaching political science.
Well, what about your new role with the Labrie School?
So I've been there, been in the dean's position for about just over a month. And what I've been concentrating on
he's
is
mastered it now.
So I've got it all. I know where my office is, and I know who the faculty. I know most of the members of the faculty at Labrie, but it's a challenge. So it's one of those things where you take it on and you try to figure out what does it mean to be the dean. What are the challenges for the school? I've got business, I've got science, I've got technology. And my background is political science, but it's also management and government. So a lot of the things that I'm kind of running into are things that I'm used to doing because I used to run the city council and was put in management positions in government. So I have some idea of what's going on.
Well, we see a lot of changes.
Well, not at the beginning. The main thing is to make sure that we're ready for the fall and that we've got all our classes covered. We've got lots of students, as President Stump said. We've got lots of new students coming in. We want to make sure that they feel welcomed and that they know where their classrooms are and they get off to a very, very good start. I think what I'm going to try to do over the next several months is bring in some of the faculty that obviously have been there for a while, talk to them, get to know them, and also really kind of check to see what is it that we can implement at Cumberland, at the Labrie School. What can we do to make the school even better? And so I've already had some of those discussions with some of the faculty. And we're not talking about, reinventing the wheel. We're talking about how do you take existing programs and focus in on them and actually try to make them even better for the students. That's what we're working on.
And as technology changes, as the way we do things changes, I suppose teaching and getting implemented for that changes as well. So that's to be considered, I would think.
Right. So you're looking for ways to engage the students in different and maybe better ways. So last year was my first full year of teaching, and I learned that a lot of the students, but particularly when we talk about political science, politics, and government, and many of the students get their news from TikTok, and which is also an issue right now with the United States Congress. Mm-hmm. And what we're trying to do is figure out how do you take students who maybe are used to getting most of their information from social media, which can be, good and bad.
Right.
How do you deal with students, and how do you make sure that they understand what's going on in the world? And how do you, in a proper way, make sure that they utilize critical thinking in terms of making decisions? Because those students that are at Cumberland are going to be some of the future leaders of, this city, this county, this state, and this country in the future.
It is time for us to take a break, and we will do that right here. This is Colwman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. It's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot, write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
65 southbound as they clean up that crash just past Trinity Lane. Now it has picked up with more volume on 24 out of Murfreesboro, Rutherford County up through Antioch. And they're waking up now. Here we go. In Wilson County through Mount Juliet, that's picking up on 40 West headed on into Hermitage. Hey, Nash Painting is a non-franchise painting company here in Middle Tennessee. Mention this ad, get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on a compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedarstone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment or the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedarstone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We continue here on this Wednesday. Dr. Paulsdom, you're gonna help me here. Always on Wednesday morning, Bob McDonald or Robert or whomever he sends is here, or Bob calls in. And I was expecting Bob to call in, and I just assumed he would. And then here we're preparing to talk about Cumberland, and you are here pinch hitting for Rusty, and I totally forgot to do the commercial for Cedarstone. So
I should have pinch hit for Bob too, I guess.
yeah. Well, you can be Bob now.
Okay.
But it is Cedarstone Bank of Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. And Bob is president and chief executive officer. And you've had a good relationship with him because he has actually been chairman of the board of trust at Cumberland.
Bob's been a dear friend of mine personally and professionally for a long time, and he actually was one of the very first people I met when I moved to Lebanon, Tennessee. He reached out to me because I had a relationship at the time with a different bank that he was currently working for at the time. And he reached out to me and befriended me. He invited me to join the local Rotary Club. he and Susan have been friends of ours, and he was, of course, as you mentioned, chairman of the board when I got this opportunity as president. He hired me, essentially. He was chairman of the search committee as well. So I'm a big fan of Bob McDonald's and Cedar Stone Bank.
Well, Cedar Stone Bank has that slogan of simple banking, simply better, and I think they, as much as possible, live up to that. Now, everything is not simple about banking, but they make it as simple as possible. And I think anybody who goes into the lobby of the main branch here, you like it from the very beginning. They do their job, but kind of laid back. They have the Cedar Stone Cafe where you can have a cup of coffee and go back and sit down and talk with somebody if you'd like. You can do all your banking electronically. Well, they're up to date on that as well.
Yeah.
And as we say each Wednesday here, you can get your loan at Cedar Stone. That's what it's all about. And that Simply Better free checking account, which not just free checking, it's all that goes with that. They even reimburse you for service charges if you are even out of the country using a foreign ATM. They reimburse you for that. That's how free that free checking account is. So it's a great way to get started and establish that relationship that we talk about all the time. So, Cedar Stone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, simple banking, simply better. And although we're a little bit late getting the commercial in this morning, that's it, Bob, and that's all you get because we're going to get back to Cumberland University. And if you joined us late, Dr. Paul Stum is pinch hitting for Rusty Richard this morning, who is on special assignment. And we have as a guest here Dr. Jim Shulman, who did I say that? Is it Dr. Jim?
I've been called many different names, but doctor will work as well.
Well, anyway, we kind of interrupted what you were talking about. I'm not sure we got through with all of this, but the growth of the new master's program. Let's talk about that a little.
Yeah, so the master's program they've been building this for a number of years at Cumberland. And we have more and more students that are coming, particularly some international students that are utilizing our master's program. We have an exceptional faculty that some of them have been around for a while, some of them are new. But I think the focus is to try to figure out what students really are interested in. It's the same thing with some of the undergraduate programs. What are students really interested in? Utilizing new technology. Some of this can be done online, so they don't necessarily have to be here all the time. And obviously we have international students that are taking part in this. And so what we're trying to do is promote Cumberland's way of educating students and actually increasing the number of people who want to be a part of Cumberland and want to learn. And that's what's going on.
And innovation is something you've got to kind of stay up with it. You've got to be innovative. You don't do everything the same way forever. Times change. We have to implement change, and I think that has a lot to do, I'm thinking, with Dr. Stum's regime at Cumberland, if we can call that a regime. Your time as president of Cumberland, the 26th one, and I know you're busy and you have a lot going, but you love what you're doing.
I do indeed. I'm every day I wake up and think how fortunate I am to have this great job and this great opportunity. Really, it is. They say if you love what you do, you never work a day, and I don't want my board to know that because I want them to keep paying me. But nevertheless, I do love what I do.
But people like Jim Shulman, who are quite innovative. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, look at the different hats he's worn over the years.
Jim,
and this is my first time to see you, as far as I know, this morning. But I mean, I could already tell you seem to be, at least, in my opinion, you're a Dr. Paul Stum type of guy.
Well, thank you.
Am I wrong, Dr. Stum?
He is very handsome, if that's what you meant.
Well, thank you for that too. I think the idea is that we're always looking at ways to improve the school.
Yeah.
And to make students feel welcome and to kind of meet the students where they are. And I'll give you an example. So I was talking about, students understanding the world news, but they're getting it through TikTok. That's a change in how we grew up. We used to watch the nightly news. So you have to meet students. You have to understand where they are. And what we have to do at Cumberland is make sure that we notice those trends, use the technology when we need to, but make sure that students are learning and that they're getting the things that they need to be successful in life. And that's what we're working on.
Well, as far as the Labrie School, we haven't really defined that this morning, and it's been there for quite some. In fact, Dr. Stum, that's when you came to Cumberland that you took that over.
I did indeed. Right. Harville Eaton, who was my predecessor as president, hired me as dean of the Labrie School, kind of like I hired Jim Schulman, and it's been. I got to tell you, Jim Schulman is an amazingly talented guy, and he is so engaged. Even from day one, he jumped in with both feet. He's been engaged with his students. He's been engaged with the faculty and staff. He's been engaged with the community. And that's one of the things that I'm most pleased about with him in particular is that he can carry the Cumberland banner into the community. I mean, his roles that he served in the past, predominantly in Nashville, but also in state government, I think will serve us well because our geographic footprint continues to grow. We're located and very proud of the fact that we're here in Lebanon in Wilson County. But we now have students from 59 of the 95 counties across the great state of Tennessee, from 38 of the 50 U.S. states, and from 49 countries. This year, 49 countries represented on our little campus. It's amazing the diversity of students that we have, and he mentioned that a minute ago. But Jim Schulman is the type of guy that can help me in particular, but carry the Cumberland banner into those diverse communities.
Well, there's certainly a challenge there, but one that you seem to accept. And as far as the Labrie School, your new role there, we can expect some change in time, but changing with the times, I think would be a way to say that.
I think that's right. Yeah, we're ready to go. Talking to faculty, talking to students as well, and talking to the administration and figuring out where we need to go. So. Ready for the challenge, ready to get started.
Do you have recreational opportunities, hopefully? I mean, are you a sports guy? Are you a hunter, fisherman, a golfer?
I don't play golf, but what I like to do is I do like sports, and I used to run a lot until I tore a meniscus, and don't run as fast. Never really ran that fast as well, but I've completed 10 half marathons. The last one I knew was my last one. I was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore, but I've just started running again. And have family in the area, so I'm heavily involved with that. And I have grandchildren, which is probably the thing that's most important to me.
Yeah. Well, great to have you here and to get to know you a little bit, and we certainly wish you well in your new role with the Labrie School.
Well, thank you.
And Dr. Stum, we'll wrap up our final 2.5 minutes here. We've got another upcoming event I know you want to mention. It's called the Patrons Party.
We do indeed. It's on July the 20th, and it's being hosted this year by Kevin and Christine New at their spectacular home. Truthfully, even if you don't want to come to Patrons Party, which I can't imagine why anybody wouldn't, but even if you don't want to come, you will want to come to see their beautiful home. It is really, truthfully, a magnificent, beautiful chateau is what I call it. And it'll be a great fun event. The tickets are $125, which is very affordable, and you can get them online. I think they're still availability. They're available through our website. If you go to the www.phoenixball.com address, then you can find a way to purchase tickets to the Patrons Party. It's Saturday, July 20th.
And after that, you'll be thinking about the start of school again. You already are, but
we're 8 weeks right now from the beginning of the fall semester. The fall semester convocation is in August. I can't remember the exact date. I should know that, but we're 8 weeks away from the start of the fall semester, and yeah, we're going to be back in the throes of it. We're going to welcome somewhere around 800 or so new incoming freshmen this fall. We've been hosting them in groups of about 100 with their parents in what we call Rising Phoenix Days, where they come in and get registered and meet their advisors and kind of see the campus. But we'll welcome them. We'll have an orientation for all the new students the week before classes start. But then we'll kick it off with Convocation, which is on a Monday in August. I don't have my calendar in front of me, but
those things that you just mentioned, though, you do those for a reason. I mean, you want people to get off to a good start. You need to know the ground you're about to tread on.
Yeah, absolutely. We think it's important to get them engaged with a small group, whether they're moving into a residence hall. They'll have functions with their roommates and the people that are living on their hall, or whether they're involved in a social fraternity or sorority, or whether they're involved in a fine arts group like one of our choirs or choral groups. We try to get students plugged in early and also connected with the faculty and with their academic advisors. A lot of students come in and they don't know, and that's okay on the front end, what they want to major in. But we have a freshman course called Foundations of Scholarship and Learning, where we try to help students understand where their skills and knowledge and abilities are, so that we can place them, hopefully early on, into a major that's a good fit for them.
Okay, come to the end of our time here this morning, but thank you so much, Jim Shulman. We appreciate getting to meet you and to have you. Thanks for being with us. And Dr. Paul Stubb, filling in for Rusty Richardson. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
I
Colin.
guess next time you may be filling in for me.
I hope so. I love that opportunity. Thank you.
Well, we'll keep you in mind. Well, that's part one of Colwman and Company. Keep it here for more FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, lifetime brake pad guarantee. With the purchase of a brake service, replacement brake pads will be provided at no cost for as long as the customer owns the vehicle. Bates Ford, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. It's loading up pretty good now with volume on 24 westbound up through Antioch, coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Watching it also pick up from Murray County into Williamson. There on 65 north up through Spring Hill, 65 south, starting a little bit heavier in the last few minutes down through Millersville. Hey, Nash Painting is a non-franchise painting company right here in Middle Tennessee. Mention this ad, get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting today at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We'll have partly cloudy skies for today with afternoon highs in the mid-80s. Tonight remains clear, lows around 60, and then mostly sunny for our Thursday, and it will be hotter. Afternoon highs around 90. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Storm Specialist Drew Richards.
And we continue here. Welcome to part two of Colwman and Company. It's a Wednesday morning, and we welcome John Langford. John is taking his seat and going to sit down here and talk about Edward D. Jones and his role as a financial advisor. Good morning.
Good morning, and it's always good whenever you run into an old friend. Jim Shulman was working at the Capitol whenever I worked for Bredesen's administration back in 2005 through 2010. So that's always good to have new friends that are old friends. So this morning I wanted to talk about, we've talked quite a bit about assets and accumulating assets and working with those, but today I want to talk about preparing for the unexpected, and for that, you also have to protect your assets. And one of the things that we do here with Edward Jones is we work with our clients to make sure that they have the right protection, and for that's insurance, so that way their assets are protected if some unfortunate event occurs. And that spans the lifetime of a client. So whenever you start out, a lot of younger people, what they will do, I know whenever I first got married, I had a lot of debt that I could have given somebody, but not really a lot of assets at that time. Mm-hmm. But we also still had a mortgage. We were trying to have a child at that time, and you have to protect your family at that point. So for most young people, term life insurance is really a good thing for them. But over time, as you get older, hopefully you have better earning years, things of that nature. it becomes more so that you don't really have all those debts, but hopefully you have a lot of assets that you have to protect, whether that be retirement assets, whether that be investment assets, maybe you've accumulated some land or some homes along the way. And then it becomes more of a term of, instead of doing term life insurance, you don't need as much life insurance, but what you may need is permanent life insurance. And then also long-term care. That is one of the things that we look at with clients. 7 out of 10 of us are going to end up in a long-term care situation, whether that be through home health, assisted living, a nursing skilled facility as well. So out of that, one of the things that we found out, and I have a very personal experience with that, we had a great aunt. She was doing fine. She was the last member of her generation at that moment. So she had accumulated a lot through those times. We got a phone call from the Macon County Sheriff's Department, and I lived in Paris at that time, so about 3 hours away. That's where she ran out of gas whenever she got lost on the way to church. Ended up in the nursing home for 9 years. And over that time period, almost all of her assets got drained out because she had built those up, and our family was writing a check every month for that.
Doing things a little bit differently could have saved a lot of that. Right?
Oh, yes. And that's one of the things that we talk about. Long-term care insurance, as you get into your 40s and 50s, it's usually hitting home because you're also having to possibly be that caregiver for your parent at that point. And getting it sooner rather than later, the difference in the rates can be literally thousands of dollars a year on that. Personally, my wife and I, we got long-term care insurance 2 years ago, and I'm in my early 40s. But the good thing is with that, we'll also be able to have that paid off before we retire. That's one of the things that we look at whenever we sit down with a client. As you get closer and closer to retirement, you want to be able to cut out as many big bills as possible. So the more that you can get done while you're still working, while you're still in those good earning years, it will make your retirement that much easier from a financial perspective.
Well, you deal with people on a regular basis, on a daily basis, actually, maybe several each day, and each one is a little bit different, but you seem to be able to touch the right buttons for whatever age someone is, and know the answers. This is what I recommend you do.
You may be giving me more credit than I deserve there, Colwman, but the truth being told, when we sit down with a client, sometimes the answer is, let me research that a little bit more. And that is one of the things when you're dealing with financial longevity and goals, what you have to look for is making sure you have the right answer. And if you don't know the right answer, it's okay to say, I don't know, let me go ask somebody else that can help us out, because we do have product partners throughout this with insurance companies. We have several different insurance companies that we work with based on whether it's going to be long-term care, term, or permanent life insurance to fit the needs of our clients.
Well, I think we should remind everybody, I didn't do this in the beginning, you have an office right here in Lebanon at 1424 West Padua Parkway, Suite C, and you can be reached by telephone at 615-443-2090. Is it best to have an appointment? Is that really the way to work it?
We prefer that, and the big reason why is like on Monday, I had 10 appointments on Monday. I've been kind of putting those together because this afternoon, I was telling Melanie as I was coming in, I'm taking the afternoon off because my daughter requested a little daddy-daughter day. So I'm working till lunch today, and with those, we try to pack as many things in as possible so that way she can go beat me at bowling afterwards.
Well, it's good to have you with us each Wednesday. We appreciate you. You bring us a good message. So far, you've had a good one every time, and we'll look forward to you being with us next Wednesday. But, of course, representing Edward D. Jones, John Langford, 1424 West Padua Parkway, Suite C, and that phone number again is 615-443-2090. Call him and make an appointment. That would be the thing to do, right?
Yes, sir. And you're going to have a good second half of this program today. You got a couple of fine women in here that are going to tell you a lot more about the chamber from what I hear.
All right. Well, John, thanks a lot. See you next Wednesday. John Langford, Edward D. Jones, and we are now 21 minutes before the hour. Melanie Mentor is my guest this morning, and she has a guest she can introduce in a moment. But Melanie, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Colwman.
Good to hear the endorsement of John Langford, of course.
I know it is. That's great. Thank you, John. Have fun with your daughter this afternoon.
How's things with you?
Things are doing well. Yeah.
Do you? I looked at the calendar this morning, and it is June the 12th. This year is almost half over. It can't be, but it is.
But it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big year for the Chamber of Commerce.
It is. It is. It's our
doing a lot of
100-year
celebrating.
anniversary. That's right. So we have a lot to celebrate, and we have a lot to go for the last 6 months.
We've got a lot to talk about this morning, and I don't want to interrupt too much. I want you to tell your story.
Well, I have a guest today. I always love bringing a guest that can talk about the chamber and what they have really gotten out of the chamber and what they've actually put into the chamber. And today I have Lynn Williams, who is a favorite that we've seen around town, and she is a second-term board of director. She is vice chair of membership, and then she's also on the ambassador committee. It is a subcommittee of membership. So as you can see, she has a very large leadership role within the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. But as you all know, we coordinate businesses and industry and individuals to help make Wilson County a better place to live, work, and play. And we do have proven results with business partners and community events. But I thought no one better than to talk about that with us today, Colwman, than Lynn.
Well, Lynn Williams, good morning and welcome to our program.
Thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm wanting to think this is your first time here. Is that right? Have you been here before?
I have not been here before, but I'm already enjoying myself.
Oh, well, good. After 30 years of doing this program, every once in a while I encounter someone, I was here 5 years ago. Don't you remember? But in your case, no. This is a first. Welcome to our program.
Thank
We're
you.
glad to have you. All right. Carry on, Melanie.
Well, Lynn, if you just want to tell a little bit about what you do personally, and then if you want to kind of go into all the things and all the ways that you help the community.
I think that's a great idea.
Well, thank you, Melanie. As you know, as you've already heard, I am on the ambassador committee, vice chairing the ambassador program this year. And so it's a subcommittee of the membership division, and what we are responsible for is the recruitment and retention of members. And so the ambassador program is a key part of that. We attend and support all the ribbon cuttings and the business before and after hours events. We volunteer at the special events. And so we're very active in the community supporting our small business owners.
Well, let me ask this, just go back a little bit. Tell us a little bit about you and how you got involved with the chamber, if you would.
Yeah, so I am a financial advisor with Edward Jones Investments, and I am a very active member of the community. I wanted to get plugged in when I moved here to Lebanon. So born in New York, grew up in Michigan, but I've been in Tennessee for about 15 years now. And so when I moved...
You think you're going to stay?
I think I'm going to stay now. I love it here. I love Lebanon because it's such a very interconnected community. And so when I moved to Lebanon, I wanted to get plugged in, to the community. Mm-hmm. So I figured one way to do that would be to get into the chamber and help on the different committees. And the ambassador committee just spoke to me. Great committee of people who just like to be involved. And that's how I ended up on the ambassador committee and in the chamber.
Well, it's quite impressive. It's got to be quite impressive to a new business when they have a lot of the chamber ambassadors show up and you bring a crowd with you, really. I mean, if it's a grand opening or ribbon cutting or whatever the celebration, and I mean, here you come and just enhance that situation greatly. That's your goal, right?
Absolutely. We really enjoy being out there, and I tell everyone we're the fun committee. We get to be out with the businesses, taking photos, shaking hands, eating lots of snacks and refreshments at all these different celebrations. So it really is a lot of fun, and we really get to make a huge impact on the community in that way.
And I would think, correct me if I'm wrong, Melanie, I don't think I'm wrong here. The fact that they show up and do a good job and somebody gets, they have their open house, their ribbon cutting, whatever it is, getting their niche started in the community, that enhances the chamber's situation here. They're going to more likely than if you didn't do that. They're easier. They're an easier new member of the chamber this way, no doubt.
That's right. And obviously we want to add value to our members and the credibility that we have by really taking the time out of everything that we do in our schedule, because we do work for the community as well as, the businesses. But it is so important for those businesses that are coming in to feel very important. I mean, they are the lifeblood of who we are in Lebanon and Wilson County, and we want to make sure that we're out there celebrating them. So although we're celebrating, our 100 years, we're really celebrating them as being members of the chamber.
And you've probably seen this work. How long you actually been doing this, Lynn?
As a part of the chamber, 4 years.
Yeah. So you've seen a lot of success stories just from what you do with the chambers, with the ambassadors, with what you do, and success stories, getting members and businesses getting off to a good start because of what you do.
Absolutely. And I can speak to that from a personal standpoint. With my business, it's really brought a lot of recognition to my business, and added a lot of value. A lot of people have heard about me and know what I do through the chamber. And so that's what we do. We add value to our business owners by bringing recognition to those businesses. And we're really busy doing that this year with our 100th year.
It's time for us to take a break. So let's take a break. This is Colwman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Still a lot of volume trying to get it through the Antioch area right now, right on schedule actually, on 24 westbound as you approach Hickory Hollow Parkway coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. It's gotten even heavier, 65 southbound down through Millersville. That traffic coming in from Robertson County down through that section of Sumner County. Nash Painting, a non-franchise painting company right here in Middle Tennessee. Mention this ad, get a 10% discount. Call Nash Painting today at 912-2288. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture, so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, John Langford, your Lebanon Edward Jones financial advisor at 1424 West Bedore Parkway. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Are you facing a challenging time that you need help navigating? Well, look no further than your local law firm of Kane and Crowell. At the offices of Kane and Crowell, our team of experienced attorneys is here to guide you through every step of the process. With a proven track record of success and a commitment to our clients and our community, look no further than the team at Kane and Crowell to fight for your rights and provide representation you deserve. 615-784-4800.
Thanks for joining us. We continue. It's actually our final segment here, the last quarter hour. Well, about 12 minutes to be exact, but we do 8 o'clock here at Colwman and Company for a Wednesday. And Melanie Minter, I'm not sure I gave you the proper introduction this morning, but she represents the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce, the person that's in charge of this office on the square, and has a great team and doing a wonderful job, really. And of course, we do have Lynn Williams this morning, and you take care of the ambassadors. I believe that's right.
That's correct, Colwman.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, what do we want to do next, Mel?
Well, I just wanted to say, Lynn, it's another success story of someone that is on the board and as a leader of our community here in Lebanon and Wilson County and for the Chamber. But she started out as an ambassador. So she came in full force. When she came to Lebanon, she joined the Chamber. And so she was with the Chamber a couple of years. And there was something about, Lynn, that really stood out to the board chair. And we said, this is something that we really need to check into. Lynn is out in the community. She's really doing a lot of things. So that board chair took that opportunity to ask Lynn to serve on the board. And we're just very happy to have her. But it is a story that we like to tell, because when you jump into the Chamber and you learn all about the Chamber and you find out how much fun we are and what we want to do to make our community a better place, then you want to be a part of the Chamber.
Well, it sounds like it has really been a good fit for you. Would you agree with that?
Definitely. I agree. It's been a great fit. There are so many things that you can get involved in with the Chamber, but the ambassador program, I feel like, is a great segue to that, because you meet so many people and then you can plug into the different parts of the Chamber.
Well, you got some statistics you want to share, haven't you?
So we've been pretty busy this year, Colwman. This is our 100th year, as we've mentioned, and so we've had a goal of completing 100 member visits by the end of June. And I am happy to say that we are on track for that so far. We have already completed 84 member visits and counting. And so we're on track to reach our 100 member visits this year.
What is there about, okay, the 100 years, 100 visits.
Yes.
And not in the whole year, in a half a year.
In a half a year. We're pretty ambitious.
Yeah.
Who knows what we'll accomplish the second half? Now I'm going to really make Lynn smile.
You hoping to do 100 in the second half?
That's a lofty goal. We're definitely going to make sure we reach our 100 years, and then it's just, or 100 visits, and then it's just going to be adding on top of that.
Okay. Well, you don't really have a goal. By the end of the first half, you will have accomplished your 100 goal, which is what you were going to do in the first 6 months here. And so the rest is just icing on the cake, I guess.
That's correct.
And we won't stop, because we do feel like this is a great marketing tool for our businesses. So we've been out to industry, we've been out to small businesses, but by going out, and Sarah Perry is our marketing communications, she does a really good job of promoting that business on our social media platforms. So, it's a really good way. It's definitely worth your money of investing in the Chamber, of being out there and us coming to visit your business. So we do encourage you that if you would like for us to come out, to please do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as far as the 100-year celebration goes, you had something, I think, for nearly every month, and we haven't talked a lot about that this morning. We've hit on it every time you've been out here, I guess. But is the 100-year celebration, is it where you thought it would be? Has it been as big, and has it gone over as well as you thought?
I would like for Lynn to speak to that too, but I really think that it has really raised awareness of all the things that we are doing in the community. And we specifically chose to do it this way so that people could be involved, and the extra members that we got from our membership event in March. This is a way that we wanted to show them that we wanted to be out in the community, and we wanted to do things, and we wanted to let everybody know what we were doing when we were out into the community. So I do have a few things that I can go over really quickly of what's happening in the next 6 months.
Okay, well, just to let Lynn comment here, are you as happy as Melanie with what's happened up till now through June, celebrating 100 years?
Absolutely, Colwman. It's been such an exciting year. Again, with the 100 years, we've really driven awareness to the Chamber. We've increased membership exponentially, over 300 new members this year. We've had 20 ribbon cuttings so far. And again, we have such a great marketing person that is bringing awareness to the business, spotlighting these businesses on our social media pages. So we are really doing a lot of great things with the Chamber this year, and I'm excited.
Okay, good to hear.
So we now have 1,671 members at the Lebanon.
1671.
Yes, sir.
1,671.
Yes, sir. So the most members that we have ever had in the history of the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce.
I'm writing that down here. 1671. I can remember when you got to 1,000, and that was quite an accomplishment.
Right.
That was a while back, but you're still growing.
We are growing, and I hear 280 people are coming in at least every month to Wilson County. So, I mean, we're growing as a county. We're going to grow as a chamber. We need everybody's support out there in the community, and we would love for them to be involved.
Well, it may be a few more months or even a year or two before you hit the 2,000 mark. But as we continue to add businesses here, and as they continue to see how many, I don't think it probably won't be as hard to hit 2,000 as it was to hit 1,000. But I don't know.
That's true. That's true. But we'll see. But, as time goes, I mean, again, we started out with, we'd had 30 members before we started the membership event in March. So we were on track there. And then we got 303 members during that event. And then we've reached another 30 for the couple of months after that. So, I mean, we've really increased our membership and investments this year. And a lot of that, I attest to the board of directors, the staff, really getting the word out, making sure that we're out and about everywhere throughout Lebanon and Wilson County.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I have a quick agenda, and I know you're going to look at the clock and say, you've got 5 minutes. August.
5 minutes and 15 seconds.
Okay. So June, we don't want to leave out the Nashville Super Speedway, so we will have a chamber recognition. I just talked to Matt Grecky yesterday on June the 28th, and it's the truck race night. So we will be highlighted just before the truck race at around 6:30 p.m. So we want to invite anyone that has not purchased tickets to please purchase their tickets for the Nashville Super Speedway and join us as we celebrate our 100 years, and they have a great weekend. For July, we have moved the Watertown Jazz Festival is not going to happen this year. So we are working with Watertown right now for their proclamation and some different activities that we may be doing there. We will in August, of course. In July, we'll be visiting Wilson County Schools and Lebanon Special School District for our We Love Our Teachers, but we will kind of relate that to our 100 years as well. So more to come on that. In August, of course, is the Wilson County Fair, Tennessee State Fair, and that's where we will unveil our chamber replica building that all past presidents paid for, as well as contributors. So we're going to talk about that the next time we're on the radio. But we've been fortunate to have had so many friends and contributors for that project, and we are just very thankful that we can actually turn that into a fruition for us for the chamber for 100 years.
So, Fiddler's Grove Chamber of Commerce.
That's right.
That'll be great.
We want to be in the middle of the history over in Fiddler's Grove, and it has great history. Charter Day Picnic we've been working on. It is September the 5th at Cumberland University being a charter member of the chamber. And it will be September the 5th from 4 to 7, and that's where City of Lebanon Mayor Bell will do the Lebanon Proclamation. On September the 7th, we'll have a Mount Juliet recognition. It's in the evening, I believe. September the 16th, the County Commission night from 5:30 to 7, and the Wilson County Proclamation from Wilson County Mayor Randall Hutto. Industry Appreciation Month, so we will choose a day for that. We will be out with the industry. And then September 21st, Glade Fest. Not to forget,
you've got a lot going in September, it sounds like.
That's why we said the last 6 months, it's like a real stretch. So we even thought this was a lot. October, we do have Taste of Wilson County. November, we're thankful for our members. And then don't forget, we're working on two floats for the parades that are coming up. And I want to thank Chance Baker and Armstrong Construction for that, because we're working on those floats, and those will be traveling throughout Wilson County.
2 floats.
2. We'll have one cake float to one that will be traveling, and then we will also be having our float in the Lebanon Christmas Parade.
All right. We have covered a lot of territory, and you're still not through.
No, sir. But I'll keep going, and we'll end it here in just a second. Just want to go over some more marketing.
Okay.
In the last 28 days, we've had 5,000 people, 5,000 Facebook visits, and 260 Instagram visits. 112 follows. Of course, this is just in 1 month, and 31. So we have over 10,000 followers for the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber of Commerce for Facebook. Certainly that is our biggest platform, but we do have Instagram also, and I just did want to mention that as well. And then we have coming up today our chamber orientation, so we do not want to forget that. If you have not signed up, you better hurry. It's from 12 to 1 today, June the 12th, so please call us at 615-444-5503. We do have Daryl Crouch that will be joining us for the Nonprofit Roundtable on June the 13th, which is Thursday. And on Thursday, we have our Women in the Leave, Have Your Cake and Eat It Too. And if you've not joined us in one of those, please do. That's at Working Men Winery, and that's from 4 to 5:30. And we'll have some tastings, wine, cake, and other activities that will happen.
Well, you certainly are busy. You're active. You're growing, and you're celebrating 100 years. So it's kind of all wrapped up together here.
We are. I'm just going to say a couple more and let Lynn go over a couple of ribbon cuttings, and we're good to go. John Rose will be joining us on June the 20th at Government Relations. Michelle Hill will be joining us at the Education Division on June the 25th. And we will be having a roundtable economic development discussion on June the 27th with open dialogue about economic development, how it helps small businesses, and what your businesses need to thrive on.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to know what the Chamber's doing, you just need to have listened this morning because you've covered a lot. Lynn, is there anything you want to say before you go this morning? Are you through?
No, we actually have some upcoming ribbon cuttings that I want to go over. Habitat for Humanity Restore. Habitat for Humanity does so much for our community, so we really want to get out and support them. Their ribbon cutting is Tuesday, July 16th at 11 a.m. at 200 Granville Drive, so we hope to see you there. We have the Luau ribbon cutting on Thursday, June 27th. That will be at the Chamber from 4 to 7 p.m., and then we have the Middle Tennessee Power Sports ribbon cutting June 18th at 4 p.m. Covert Results June 20th at 4 p.m. And we also have Home First Home Health Care at 4 p.m. on June 25th. I am honored. It's been my pleasure to be the sponsor of the ribbon cuttings this year. Again, I am with Edward Jones Investments. My name is Lynn Williams, and we focus on retirement plan and 401k strategies for individual and business owners. And we also help women in transition from loss, divorce, or a late life career change, including retirement. So that's what we do.
All right. Well, thank you for being with us today. We've enjoyed your visit, as well as you, Melanie Mentor. Thanks so much. And that's it for Wednesday. Join us tomorrow for Colwman and Company. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.